They really say that.
I'm almost certain at one point I was like, what are they chanting? And they're like, lanes of faggot. I was like, I was like, I can't be hearing that, but I like turned my TV way up.
They had like hella audio issues in that game, and I had it cranked up really loud at my house, and you could hear they would just catch these random women saying like, "What the fuck? What the fuck, refs? What the fuck?" It's so fun. Love when a female gets freaked out about a football game.
Did
Equality.
you see when they started throwing all the bottles and shit? A lot of it was just hitting people in front of them.
Yeah,
You see these
because
guys like wind up and throw as hard as they can, and it goes like 3 rows down and hits a lady in the back of the head.
there was a few arms I think in the stands, but for the most part, yeah,
Oh,
they
there
just
was
fucked
some that
up.
were hitting like the middle of the field.
Yeah. Yeah, there was some guy on Twitter that took a picture. Was like, "Damn, there's some dude's got a cannon," and it was like a water bottle at the 50, basically. Yeah, that was bonkers, man. It's
Well,
absolutely.
who brought a golf ball
Yeah, that's what I'm
to?
like. It's hard as hell to sneak liquor in there and shit. I've known guys that do it in Ziploc baggies and like all sorts of weird stuff, but just to be able to bring in a golf ball is
A
crazy.
bottle of mustard.
What happened with the golf ball?
So,
Threw it on the field.
yeah, there was a bunch of bad calls in this college football game, and they just threw it. They were throwing shit all on the field.
That's hilarious.
It was a nightmare. I actually, when I worked for that team, Tennessee, we went to Kentucky one year, and they hadn't beaten us in like fucking 20 something years. It was like 28 years, I think. And they were throwing batteries and quarters and shit at us while we were on the field. It was fucking hostile as shit. People are crazy.
LSU used to do that every week, no matter who they were playing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's wild as shit sometimes.
Oh yeah.
They don't. You can't take your helmet off if you're playing against LSU. That's what I hear. And Tim, and I'm sure you know Tim Tebow has a book. Every famous person has a book. I
Yeah.
fucking read the Tim Tebow book years ago, and he talked about how every week, or I mean every year, like the week that they played LSU, he'd get like multiple death threats, and people would be like calling his family members and like threatening their lives and like
Jesus Christ.
telling him not to suit up against LSU.
Dude, I could go on for hours about the craziness of Southern college football. Like the guy who poisoned the tree in Toomer's Corner in
Oh yeah, he
Auburn,
fucking sprayed him
Alabama.
with Roundup. He went.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like commercial grade fucking tree shit. And then he went and bragged about it on the largest like football radio show in Alabama, and he went to prison for it. That was just the funniest. Golly, it's the dumbest, weirdest people in the country caring about the dumbest, weirdest sport. I love it so much.
hmm
Great.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, I actually was looking up. I had like airplane tickets, a ticket lined up, a guy that was going to pick me up from the airport in Nashville to go to that game, and I couldn't find a place for my dog, unfortunately. And I'm glad I didn't go now. That would have cost a grip just to watch us lose, but that game was bonkers.
hmm
Dude, it was a hell of a game.
Yeah, I think we may be in good hands.
I
So
don't know.
Kim,
I thought Heupel was playing with borrowed players
oh yeah, yeah,
his
for
whole
sure.
career before Tennessee because like he came in behind Frost
Frost, yeah.
and just kind of took those same guys and kept winning. But he looks good with Tennessee, and that's impressive because Tennessee has been bad for a while.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the reason why they went a little crazy last night too, is it was like a decade's worth of pent up frustration.
Yeah.
But Kim, you're back on Twitter, is that right?
I am back on Twitter. We are now the Suck Dictator, and I am not. I'm Kim, not the dictator. I'm just an average Korean man this time.
Just an American guy.
Yeah, I'm a Korean American. Possibly a Korean Jewish American coming soon as well.
He loves barbecues, football,
And the
and
IDF.
freedom.
And the IDF.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and today's
It
been a
is
particularly good
real.
day as well. This is the most activity I've gotten without having to do anything. I just posted something about how if I don't get 300 followers by the end of the day, I was gonna shit in a library book and then reshelve it. And it got picked up by a couple big accounts. I've gained like almost 50 followers today. I'm almost at 300. I think it might actually happen.
Ooh.
That's a pretty big day. I don't know
Yeah.
if I've ever gotten that much.
Maybe we'll put you back on the podcast Twitter bio once you hit
Is that what it is?
500.
You're capping me. I have to reach a certain follower
Yeah,
count.
it's not good optics if we got somebody with 300 followers.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Optics.
It's okay. I'll just keep extorting my followers until I reach 1,000. Like in order to get to 200, I threatened to cut off a Jewish man's nose. That did it pretty quickly.
Wow. Yeah, it's either one or the other. You're either getting the followers or you're getting suspended.
Yeah, that's true. There's only so far I could go with this until someone picks it up and I get suspended for threats.
Yeah, that's kind of like when you know you've gotten big enough is when the random people report you.
Hmm. Oh yeah. I guess Umami will join us late. We've been recording for a little bit now, but I wanna we'll make sure he gets in here and does it. I bet you he'll join up.
Good, good.
So what was that video you posted earlier? Sorry, I'm fucking eating right now. I'm gonna eat on the podcast. You posted a video. Baby said ain't nobody eating no damn cake. I haven't even viewed it yet.
It's just a baby going
Let's see it.
to Pound Town. I don't know. He's just
Oh, is he just going crazy?
yeah. He
Did
just
you
starts punching his mom in the face. It's just,
Did
I
you
don't
see
know.
that video of that 50-year-old Mexican dude? It was like he's like my dad on his 50th birthday, and it's just this like fat Mexican dude in a cowboy hat holding like a whiskey bottle, and he's just standing there, and you have like one of those mariachi bands in the background,
Oh,
and he suddenly just
he's
starts
like
bouncing
fucking
around.
dancing.
Yeah, he just starts bouncing around the room and falls on the dude. That rules. That's what I'm shooting
That's
to be
awesome.
like when I'm 50 years old.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be Mexican when I'm old.
Yeah,
What's
I
new?
just want to be a fat alcoholic Mexican when I'm old.
Did something happen today? I haven't, I saw the flag at half mast, and I don't know if like a shooting or something happened today. I've just started to assume that every time I see the flag at half mast, there was another shooting.
Personally, I feel like it's been like that since 9/11. I mean, maybe it hasn't, but I just feel, yeah, there's
It should be.
Well, I see the flag at
just
half
still
mast, and then
haven't gotten over that.
I see the flag at half mast, and then I try and like do like a quick search or something like that. Try and figure out what it is, and I can find nothing. It's like people woke up one day. It's like, yeah, I guess we got to honor the dead.
Yeah, it's like a cop who's dead, or a school shooting, or the healthcare workers, or fucking COVID victim. I don't even know anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. It seems kind of pussy.
Yes.
You know, it's
I
like
agree.
it's like a surrender flag. Like let's
agree.
lower the flag. They got us. Let's go ahead and surrender for a day.
Yeah, you think China's doing that shit? They
No,
have
they're
like one
getting
of
the
those
flag
mass
higher.
stabbings or whatever. Yeah, they put it up higher.
In other words, you really agree with that scene from The Irishman where Jimmy Hoffa gets mad that they lowered the flag at half mast for Kennedy's funeral, so he has them go up and raise the flag up to the top of the pole.
Yeah.
Nah, I haven't seen that movie yet.
Oh, it rules.
We don't
There's a
lower
scene
cat-
like, he
flags
gets
for
mad that they
Catholics.
lower the flag to half mast during Kennedy's funeral.
I feel like that was all a little overblown. The
What-
Kennedy assassination.
You think it was overblown? Like it was too
Yeah.
they played too much on
Yeah,
it?
there's just a little. I mean, enough's enough.
What?
It's a dead president.
I mean, like it is the whole running plot of it is that, sorry, Turbo, I'm going to spoil this for you because you've had more than enough time to watch this film. Is that, Kennedy gets assassinated. You can tell that the mob has like these ties into his administration and stuff like that. And then they drop towards the end of the movie where Russell Buffalino goes up to De Niro and says like, "Oh, if they can whack a president, they can whack a president of the Union." So the implication is like the mob theory that the mob whacked JFK and it wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald, or if it was
Yeah.
him, he was paid by the mob, which I think is a very good theory. I mean, it does have some strong
It
basis.
was. It was. It was. I always heard that it was the Traficantes.
Mm-hmm.
They're from Tampa, and the reason was, and Miami too. The reason was like something to do with casinos
Yeah, the casinos
over
in
in
Cuba. Yeah.
and so they were like involved in the Bay of Pigs, and
Mm-hmm.
then he kind of left him hanging, so they
Yeah.
whacked him.
Yeah, so that's exactly
Something
what.
like that. I
So it
probably
wasn't the ex-Marine with a crack shot.
Well, I
well.
think he could have. I think Lee Harvey Oswald made the shots. I think he was the shooter, but I think he was paid,
Okay.
or there
Something
was
else
someone
was going on.
behind him. Yeah,
There was a connection there.
Yeah.
People like
Well,
started
there-
the whole thing out. He knew people involved in all that shit somehow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't just some random guy.
And I mean, and so the Irishmen, what they do is they do play on the whole Bay of Pigs thing as well. In fact, they actually have the whole thing with the main character being involved, where he helps arm the Cubans or whatever. And so the whole idea is that the mob is helping JFK stage the Bay of Pigs on the premise that they will get their casinos back in Cuba. That fails. Kennedy fails to meet up on his end, so they just kill him. He forgets who they put him into power or whatever.
Yeah, because apparently there was some wild shit as far as him getting elected.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think people did this shit with Abraham Lincoln, or do you think people were just like, yeah, no, it was that fag, that actor guy, that weirdo, said some weird Latin shit after he shot?
Yeah, I think I think Lincoln's death is a little bit more cut and dry. It was just
Right, 'cause there's so
it was
many
just some
witnesses,
pro
right?
secessionist actor who happened to be very popular and was able. And it's also during that period where like there's no security around the president at all.
Yeah,
He just had to walk up some stairs and open a door.
Well, the motivation isn't confusing when you think about
Yeah,
Lincoln. It's like, well, he just fought half the country in a war,
right.
yeah,
but like Kennedy was well liked, so it's just kind of
mm-hmm.
left field.
Yeah.
That is true. People got to see it too.
John
Like,
Wilkes.
there's, like,
Yeah, I mean, John Wilkes Booth may be a bad dude, but screaming "Sic Semper Tyrannis" when you shoot a guy is pretty badass.
yeah,
No, it's bad.
he hops. Yeah,
He hops
down,
up.
breaks both of his legs, right?
Yeah, he breaks one of his ankles, I think, because he's like
Okay.
hobbling off the stage. Yeah, he did like limp out.
Say some flowery gay shit after you shoot the president,
Yeah.
and then immediately injure. Gonna get caught.
I mean, like it would be like someone from the South to scream something like in Latin before killing someone. That seems like a very like secessionist, the white man's history or whatever. So it's like they hold Latin up as being like this elite language or whatever. I could see it.
Turns out he was just a failed actor. Didn't
That is
really
pretty
care
funny.
what he was like.
I had a
Well, what's the?
I had a book about him. I don't even remember where they chased him, but it was like some book that my parents got me when I was little, and it was like chasing Booth or something like that. And they talk about how they like these these federal agents or whatever traced him all the way out to like Texas or something like that. Like they just chased him across the United States.
That must have been a rush.
Yeah. Well, what's funny too is how many people were willing to help him. That's what they were talking about too. Is they were saying how shocking how many people in the North were willing to house him. But I guess that's not too shocking considering that it's still like that polarized period.
Yeah, dude,
That'd be
we've
like
been hanging on by a thread there for a
that'd be
while.
like someone who's a Trump supporter committing some sort of act in the North and then like taking refuge in a Trump supporter's house in the North. Like there are Trump people in the North.
Yeah, exactly. The what? So that one's not even the weirdest or the gayest assassination attempt. I mean, the guy who's obsessed with Jodie Foster to the point where he thinks that killing Reagan
That rules.
will like that's we've got some weird ones. We've got
Hmm.
some really weird assassination people.
This is how stupid this assassination is. But so people think of Lincoln and JFK as the two main president assassinations, but there's another president's assassination, and it is so unknown that people just straight up don't even like. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know the
Don't
president's
even,
name who
yeah,
was assassinated, but like
exactly.
but the what happened to him is that there used to be this time like in the early 1800s where you could just like meet the president and go up and shake his hand. It'd be like literally a meet and greet. He's just sitting at a table and you just go up and you can meet the president. And some guy, he's like sitting on a stage. It almost looks like a carnival or something like that. And some guy just walks up, shakes his hand, and shoots him. You know, it's not, here I'm gonna find it. That
Are you talking about Teddy Roosevelt?
no,
He didn't die.
Yeah, they tried to
no,
they tried to get his ass too.
this
No,
is someone
he was
different.
fine. He
Yeah, he was cool about it. Wasn't it his speech or something?
I'm not
yeah,
talking
it was
about
before a
Teddy.
speech. He gave the speech after he got shot. He like put his finger up to his mouth to see if he had any blood coming out of his mouth. He's like, "Oh no, I'm good,
William
fine."
McKinley. That's
He
who I'm
went and gave
talking
a
about. William
McKinley.
McKinley. Took place at 4:07 p.m. September 6, 1901, actually, so it wasn't the early 1800s. McKinley, attending a Pan American expedition, was shot twice in the abdomen close range. An anarchist with a 32.
An anarchist. That's the only thing they've ever fucking done.
There's another one too. I remember this one. There was a period of time where like the president just didn't live in the White House. Like you know, it was like the White House was built, but they would commute to the White House. And James A. Garfield, the 20th president of the United States, he used to take the train to take him to the White House, and he was shot outside, like at the train station on his way to work. It's just like
That's awesome.
there's just these two like you have Lincoln, who's very well known. He's the first presidential assassination. You got these two guys in the middle, and then you got Kennedy. These two guys in the middle, everyone forgot about.
And Harvey Oswald was definitely like the coolest one. I mean, he got Kennedy's head to go up like a grape.
Yeah.
The rest of them are just kind of like, I don't know,
It's hilarious.
not as cool.
It's funny
Yeah,
though that after McKinley, they were like, it took 3 presidential assassinations for them to be like, all right, maybe we should get some security around this dude.
Do something
We
about
gotta
this,
do
yeah.
something about this.
Well,
Our guys
like,
who just
think
died.
about like the 1800s. The president of a country was still not much more than like a warlord. Like fucking
Yeah.
Andrew Jackson was like getting shot all the
Yeah,
time.
it
Mhm.
was a
He got
crazy
shot
dude.
like probably double digit amount of times.
But Lincoln wasn't a
It
warlord,
was-
you'd call him. Like, he never was on the front lines.
No, but you know what I mean. A lot of these
Yeah.
guys were like
Mhm.
generals and shit.
Yeah.
And like
Obviously there's the Ferdinand one, but like isn't it kind of crazy that there aren't a whole lot of assassination attempts on really any world leaders, right? Like, I mean, everyone thought, I remember when Obama first got elected, everyone's like, oh my God, this country's so racist, someone's going to try and take him out.
I used to think
And
that.
like,
I used to think someone would like. I remember like in
yeah.
middle school, we'd
Oh,
think
that was a
someone was gonna
common
try and
thought,
kill
yeah.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of
Absolutely.
also thought that they were gonna do that to Trump because
Yeah.
people were just so angry about him.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought that they might just go all the way.
Just some
I wouldn't have been shocked.
You don't think
No,
someone
like,
won't take a shot at Biden?
No.
No, he's just a lazy old man. He's
They're
not
waiting
like,
for God to do that.
Mhm. I'm now at 284 followers and counting. We're doing it tonight.
Moving on up.
Yeah, moving
We
on
hit
up.
300.
Like the Jeffersons.
Is it your place to be watching that?
Is it my
Is it
place to be
your
watching?
place?
I can't watch the
Yeah.
Jeffersons. Wow.
Check your privilege before you reference that shit.
Yeah, that'd be funny if there was a function on like cable television where it asks you like your ethnic background, and then they tailor your cable television to your answers. So if you're white, like you just can't watch anything with a that's black, like a black sitcom. They're only
Yeah, like
exclusive to black families.
yeah, I remember when I was a kid and I was able to watch BET. God, that was awesome.
You're like, oh, you're not Asian. You cannot watch Fresh Off the Boat. That's an Asian exclusive show. You have to be
Can't watch
Asian.
G4.
You have to have at least 25% Asian blood in you in order to watch this show.
Oh, you're
I
not.
still think we would win, to be honest. Like, think about if you got the Asian cable and all you get to watch is like how many shows are there with Asian people on there?
I know a lot of Asian people that like Walker, Texas Ranger.
Well, no,
That.
no, no, no. That'll be on our channel.
That's on our channel. This is just cable separate but equal.
Y'all can have your ninja movies, but we're keeping. Walker,
Y'all
Texas
can have your anime. You guys get to keep your anime. We don't want it.
Hey, they
We
get
get
Jackie
cowboy
Chan.
movies.
We want our college football.
Yeah.
They get Jackie Chan. So basically, Rush Hour doesn't exist anymore.
They can keep their Naruto so long as that I get to see my Dallas Cowboys. That's all I care about.
They just covered, by the way. Cha-ching. Love that.
Oh man, did the game end? I stopped looking. Let's
Yeah, he
see.
threw game-winning touchdown pass in overtime.
Fuck,
Senor Dak.
missed it.
Let's see.
And that's the sports update for the podcast.
Yeah. Actually, it was after McKinley that the Secret Service was created. I just looked that up. I just read that. They were like, you had to get shot by an anarchist for the United States to be like, oh, maybe we should have some bodies around this dude.
It is kind of crazy that we're a little late to react on that. You know, like
Well,
need this to happen a few more times.
Well, and if you think about it, the timeline actually makes sense. You forget that, like, over in Russia, this is still, like, Tsarist Russia or whatever. In 1905, they had their fucking, the Tsar Nicholas the First or whatever. He got, he got his ass blown up. Not the last Tsar, but the Tsar before him, his dad, he got, like, blown up by an anarchist.
Yeah, that's when shit started getting wild.
Like, the early 1900s, like, from 1900 to 1910 was, like, that golden age of, like, anarchy, where anarchists were going around blowing shit up, and then they kind of became less popular.
It was right before they had surveillance cameras, and that just ruined the whole thing, man.
Ruined everything.
It isn't even fun anymore.
Well, it's not good recruiting for your cause when you're like setting off bombs and shit.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know?
Oh, yeah.
Unless
People
you're
get scared
ISIS.
of you.
Yeah, no
Somehow,
one,
if you're
like-
ISIS, you get like some roaring applause from anybody that's
Could you imagine?
Muslim.
Could you imagine someone today trying to like blow something up and then like getting up on a stage and being like, "Long live the revolution"? It's just a bomb. People be like, "What the fuck?" You get obviously you get arrested immediately because policing is much better. Second off, people would think you're a fucking monster. They wouldn't buy into your cause.
Yeah. Unless they're like an edgelord.
Look at it
Like,
this
most
way.
people didn't like the Boston.
Look at it this way. At least Islamic terrorism does it from a very far proximity from their own country to where they can't even see it. So supporters don't see or feel the actual bombings in their own country.
No, they just see the death toll like a scoreboard. They're like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
12 points for Johnny.
That's a new March record.
Like,
It's kind of crazy.
You're doing good, Muhammad. You got 10 new points this year.
They got like the Saudi ESPN, and that's all they cover. It's just like the top 10 of the week: car
Score!
bombings in Iraq. Like,
It's just these Allah Akbar chants in the background, and then some truck going 20 miles an hour up against a wall just explodes.
When the bomb like explode, whatever explosion happens, kind of like how Latin American like soccer announcers will scream like goal and they'll just hold it. You just hear all the Muslims just scream and like something in Arabic as the bomb is going off.
That's so funny. It is great. Like, how are they not using drones more? Like, I know drug dealers use them, but
no, they are. They are, and all
are
these
they?
little conflicts in the Middle East, they're all
Yeah, I
using
would just be
drones now.
dropping shit. And then going back to assassination attempts, how has somebody not done that yet? Like, where you can be remote.
Hmm.
That just doesn't. My guess would be that the White House literally has like some sort of EMP or something that could probably just like deaden anything that comes over. But yeah, that's interesting. Not endorsing this idea at all. It's just crazy
Not
that the
endorsing it.
technology.
We at the Dudes Rock podcast do not endorse blowing
Listen,
people up.
domestic terrorism's only cool on January. Every other time, it's not cool. It's cringe, actually, if you think
And
about it.
what we're not gonna do is link in the description the type of drone that you would actually be able to use to
Yeah,
pull that
it's got a
off,
little. Yeah, it's got a little button. Drops it.
and a dark web website to get the explosives. We're not gonna put that in the description
Not gonna be there.
because we
Go down
don't
for it.
want you to do it. We would get so mad
Yes.
if you try to do it.
It would be so cringe if you became a domestic terrorist.
Let's see. I
That's
got a
what I'm gonna
hundred.
do. I'm gonna look for a drone that can drop things.
I know they make planes that can.
Yeah, for $34, you can buy a drone that can drop something. Like it has a
Wow. Could we have just started a revolution? No.
dude. If everybody bought a bunch of these, you could sit at home and just take take over the world.
Oh, let me see this. Oh yeah, yeah. That's so funny.
Just an army of those.
Yeah, that's actually the army has that dark where they have these drones that can come out of some sort of mothership, and they're all gonna have like C4 on them and stuff like that. And the concept is like you can shoot down some of them, but it's like a swarm of thousands. So
Holy,
there's definitely gonna be some that get through, and it's like just it's kind of a brilliant idea. But
Hmm.
I don't know if they're actually developed that all the way yet.
Yeah.
got to make one that can pull a trigger. Then you're in business. You can give them all pistols.
Oh, dude, they actually do have this automated team now that like basically it's just like I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's like those like turrets or sentry. It's like that. Um
Oh, found. Check this out.
the hell? What is that?
It's got a
You.
grenade launcher,
That rules.
belt-fed
What the fuck?
machine gun.
I love
Yeah.
how someone would join the military. So this is like an Air Force thing, right?
Yeah, I
This
so.
looks like it's a private company's
Okay, because I was gonna
product.
say if the
Oh,
Air
this is
Force does
Turkish.
this, it's like that's just funny that like you basically have to be at like graduate at like the top of your class and all this stuff just to fly around a drone.
Yeah.
Well, the U.S. has ones that like shoot rockets and shit.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a gun. This is Turkish though. It's from the Turkish
It's
military.
it's amazing. They've actually got these airplane drones now that can land on aircraft carriers and act as like kind of refueling tankers for the actual fighters. Crazy shit they're doing. But yeah, it is like I think you're just in a Connex box in Colorado somewhere, and you're like just bombing children or whatever.
You don't even get to go to the Middle East. They don't even
No,
let you go to like.
I don't think so. I mean, I think you could be in like the UAE or something, maybe.
I mean, I want the
Um,
experience, of going to the desert.
yeah, you get a little sun, you know, try and do
Little
something special.
dust.
So I wanted to
Maybe.
ask this because we wanted to talk about it last week, but we never got around to it. What is the deal with this Barstool guy and the White Sox? You posted earlier. It's this video of this guy from Barstool, Chicago, that apparently confronted John Cusack and told him he's not
John
allowed to cheer for
Cusack.
the White Sox.
Yeah, it was
Oh yeah.
very hard to watch. But I didn't realize how tall John Cusack was watching that
Oh, is
video.
that how you
But
say his
yeah,
name?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's how I've said it. But yeah, apparently he like cheers for both teams. Like he cheers for the White Sox and the Cubs. So
Hmm.
that cringy barstool dude like was trying to give him shit, and I don't even know what it turned into. But then I started
He
thinking about
basically turned him around. He was like, he's like, no, I'm gonna do what I want, and fuck you and whatever.
yeah.
And then by the end, the guy was like, you know what? I just think it's kind of weird, and he's like
Yeah,
almost like trying to de-escalate. He realized he didn't.
yeah, it looks very like cringy.
Huh.
Not no, he didn't like own him or
Yeah, it's
anything.
just like a Barstool guy making a fool of
Yeah,
himself.
yeah, pretty much. And then I started thinking about like the movie Con Air,
Huh.
and thinking about how cool that movie is. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, that's about it. John Cusack's tall or Cusack,
I
and
don't know.
Cusack.
he he kind of made the Barstool guy look like an. Even though it is kind of weird to root for two teams in the same city. Like I don't know if there's like a Clippers and Lakers fan or like a Jets and Giants fan. Maybe they do exist.
What
I don't
about
think so.
what about instead of Cusack, it's Cusack, and it's a trans guy that also has a pussy and balls?
No.
No,
Who's
that's what I thought of.
he's Asian.
Yeah.
Coos.
I was thinking of like the what is it? Like coos is in reference to pussy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a term that you hear thrown around all the time in
No,
reference to pussy.
you're thrown around by Italians in New Jersey. That's about it.
I didn't even know that that was real. I'm
Yeah,
telling you
that I don't know. That's one of those like words that you hear on Sopranos or something like that. So you know, naturally you assume that a television show accurately depicts an Italian American culture
now.
and their
Yeah, they've done
slang.
a bang up job so far. The
TV
Jersey
depictions are always spot on. You
Always
never
spot
have to
on.
worry about
Never
the
have
Jersey
to.
it.
Shore was so fucking funny, dude. I don't even like that whole time period in television was so crazy.
Mhm.
All those fake reality television shows and Flavor Flav being like on television all the time.
Did y'all uh, did y'all watch the Many Saints of Newark movie, the Sopranos movie?
Not yet.
Not
I
yet.
think I'm going to, but I haven't yet.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. A lot of people don't like it.
I heard Joey Diaz is in it. Does
He
he have like
is.
a big?
He's got two scenes, and you'll see what I mean. He
Oh,
has.
he's like
He's
barely
like,
in it.
yeah, he's barely in it, and he's kind of in it as like a joke. He's kind of like one of those comedic relief guys.
Oh my god! So like the thing is, if you like follow him or anything like that on social media, it really seems like he's been busy
No,
with this movie for a long time, and
busy as in he's a bad actor, and
like
they
he's like
probably had him rerun those scenes 1,000 times until they finally had to
but
take it.
Oh
he made
my
it seem like he was just like a substantial character.
No, he's not a substantial character. He has very little. He is so inconsequential to the overall story that it's not even funny.
I just love how you can be Cuban and like somehow you're just cast as Italian.
That's what
Well,
they
it's
do
got
now.
the accent,
Yeah,
the old school.
That's so
yeah.
perfect.
It was a good movie though, but I've heard a lot of criticism about it where they're like, oh well, they don't show enough about Tony, and I think if you're going in for Tony, you're going in it for the wrong reason. The movie's not about Tony Soprano. The movie's about Christopher's dad, Dickie Moltisanti. It's a story about him, not
Christopher,
Tony.
Christopher, your dog.
Christopher. That is probably one of the funniest things ever. That you just get so high that you sit on your girlfriend's dog.
Oh, whoops.
Whoops. Yeah, that movie also has crazy amount of spoilers. If you've never, I've had to tell a friend of mine who's like watching the show right now for the first time that like he can't watch,
Oh,
you can't
get
watch
out
the
of line.
movie. Like I'm not. Everyone here's seen the movie or the show, right?
I have not.
Yeah.
You've not seen the show?
No, I have not.
Oh, then you should probably watch the show first because I mean the movie will be on HBO, but like not even a minute in, and they have a spoiler for Christopher's character in season 6, like in the last season. Like
Really?
it is jam packed. The movie revolves so much around the audience having seen the show that if you don't see the show, you're lost. And I think that's also why some people don't like it because maybe some
I've
people
been trying
never.
to carve out like a long weekend to just knock the show out.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Thanksgiving may be it.
It takes more than that, dude. It's so
Really?
many episodes.
It's
Such a long fucking show.
It is a long show. It's like what 12 episodes a season, and that's not even
Each an
counting
hour.
6 seasons. 6 seasons actually twice that, so it's more like 7 seasons, and each episode's an hour. So here, let's do a little bit of quick math
Holy
here.
shit! That's a week straight of time.
Yeah, so
3 days and 14 hours.
Yeah, that's what you're looking at.
Oh,
If you just
straight.
watched it nonstop.
Yeah, that's so realistically that's
There
probably
was-
long.
I don't think I've seen the whole thing. I've seen a lot of it, but I haven't gotten all the way through.
It might help to like actually have seen again. It helps to see the actual like full show because it does have some major spoilers about the show right in the very beginning.
I like a show that you can binge watch in like a day or two,
Yeah,
like Band
Like a
of Brothers.
miniseries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Band of Brothers was
Yeah.
a good one. That's one.
Miniseries
turn
are
that
getting
on.
huge now.
You can turn that on. You can watch it for like a day and a half, and do nothing else. But
Some-
What's so
that's it.
long
Honestly-
in my life without seeing that show.
Honestly, with this movie, one of the biggest critiques, and I kind of agree with this one though, is that it would have been an excellent miniseries. They could have done HBO could have done a miniseries on it, but they try and jam pack so much like show references and like funny little moments and everything like that. Make it really authentic and capture everything from like how it was in the old days or whatever. That it turns into like a 3.5 hour long movie or something like that.
Jeez, that's a long ass fucking movie.
It's long as hell.
That's one that needs an intermission. I think anytime you're over 3 hours, you need an intermission.
Dude, so have you guys seen the movie Once Upon a Time in America?
in Hollywood,
Yeah, I was about to say I
Non-Hollywood.
was all the way with you until that last word there.
No. In America, it's like an 80s. It's like one of those De Niro movies, and it's about Jew mob. But it is like 3 hours and 45 minutes, and it is so long that they put an intermission in it.
wait, it's about what?
It's about Jew mob.
Jew mob?
Yeah, Jewish
Jew mob.
organized crime.
What?
Yeah, dude. But you know what's really funny about it? So this movie goes.
We're
and it-
gonna break into these. We're gonna break into these
These
change
stores?
machines.
these stores. We're gonna break into these stores and we're gonna take the money.
points off the stack, man.
Listen. It's really not in your best interest to be running a business without some protection. It'd be a shame if someone would come over here and just smash your windows.
Grab all of your shekels.
Fuck.
They're just not a threatening people.
They're not.
I can't see it.
They're really
It's
not.
hard to like look down and be like, oh shit, this guy's gonna kick my ass.
Yeah, they're really not threatening. And what's funny too is that like so this movie it follows like a small gang of friends that they're friends. It's like little kids or whatever, and it follows their entire life. And at around 3 hours, the 3 hour mark, when the movie has 45 minutes left, that's when they put the intermission in. They put it at the very end of the
Just for
movie.
the third, yeah, just for the final act. So maybe
Just for like the last 45 minutes.
that's that's so fucking stupid.
Also, I'm concerned about the director. I know everyone in Hollywood has a rape fetish, but like there are two scenes in this movie where they've got Robert De Niro just forcing himself, absolutely just going on some girl like against her will. And what's worse is they like show the entire scene, so it just makes you feel really, really uncomfortable.
Yeah, what the
Like
fuck?
I'm just like I don't want to see this. This is just disturbing.
They're gonna end up putting like some child getting abused in it and call it days and just try and slip it by.
They borderline
But
have that already. They show like there's like
yeah,
a scene. There's like a scene in that movie when like when the main character, De Niro's character, he's like a little kid. He has this crush on a friend of his or whatever when they're like 12 years old, and he's like peeking in on her through like a hole or something like that while she's undressing, and you see her ass. I'm like, this is a 12-year-old girl. I don't want to see this. It's gross.
yeah.
It's
I guarantee
disgusting.
they're gonna creep closer and closer to that bull crap.
It's
They're a sick people.
They're a sick people. Those Hollywood types.
They've got something wrong with them.
It was a
Heaven
good
forbid
movie
they
though.
get wiped off the face of the earth. It sounds good. That's three. Ah, man, it better be for that length.
It
That's fucking. You get Lord of the Rings.
I think it's meant to be kind of sad, where it starts off with the main character being really old. He's like returning back to like his childhood like town in like Staten Island, where it was like this ethnically, like concentrated Jewish neighborhood or whatever. So you've got like a bunch of Hasids walking around everywhere, and it's got like this very emotional music kind of playing through. It almost feels like it's gearing up for like Schindler's List, where it's meant to be like an emotional punch or something like that. But and like one of his childhood friends, he gets like killed when they're like both kids or whatever. So it's meant to be kind of sad, and sometimes too. It's a good movie, but it just has those scenes like for a 3 hour and 45 minute film, you could do without the 2 minute scene of the main character raping his childhood friend. Like you could imply that he does it at the start and then maybe cut to when he's leaving. You don't have to show everything in between in very graphic detail.
Yeah,
It's
they've
it's
done that like a
disturbing.
million times in Hollywood. Just show like, oh wow, they're locked in a room. She looks scared. He looks, horny, and then they,
Yeah.
just go to the next scene.
Yeah. What's worse too is that this is just my critique of the film. It is a good film, but like, so he rapes this girl, and then she goes off. She actually becomes a Hollywood actress, which is actually kind of funny that you'd get raped before you become a Hollywood actress, not during your time as a Hollywood actress. She's getting raped beforehand, but that's neither here nor there. And she goes off, and so he never sees her again for a while or whatever. And then like he comes back and visits her when they're like both old or something like that, and she's just unfazed to see him. She's just like, yeah, it doesn't bother me that you're here. And
Wow.
that was like one of the only critiques I had of that story. I was like, I feel like if you'd been sexually assaulted by a guy, no matter how, it doesn't matter if it's been 35 fucking years since you've last seen him, you would still be a shock and probably infuriate you to see him.
Yeah, Turbo. Why don't you tell us based on your experience? Do you still feel shocked?
Yeah, do you still feel traumatized?
Being sexually assaulted?
Assaulted? Yeah. When you hear your story.
Oh no, I've never been raped.
I
If
don't
that's
know.
what
I
you're
thought that's
asking.
not what I've heard.
I've
Play hot
never been
potato
raped.
with rape accusations. Actually, no, I heard it was Kim.
That I was the one raped? Or I raped him.
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't know. We don't know anymore.
I've never been raped. I've always enjoyed it. That's why.
Yeah.
Hmm.
If I'm having a good time, it's not rape.
I want to start a new trend where you like talk about someone in terms of like their usefulness. So like if you're say like a blacksmith and you only talk about them in like reference like metal or whatever. So it confuses people whether or not you're talking about the product or the person.
Mm.
So you're talking about them like they're an object, and so you're like talking to, you see like some Cubans, and so you're talking about them like they're cigars, and you're confusing the person whether or not you're talking about Cuban cigars or you're talking about actual people.
Yeah, those little brown things.
Those little brown things, he's like, man, if there were any more Cuban, Castro would have smoked them himself. And people are like, we're still talking about people, aren't we? Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Such
Yeah,
groundbreaking comedy, man.
I
I'm pretty
know.
sure they were doing this in like 1934.
Wow.
It's like
Thanks.
type of like who's on first type shit.
Thanks. Yes, I'm glad you approved, Turbo.
they've been doing that for a while. That's because it still slaps.
It's still good. You talk about Mexicans in like terms of tortillas. You're like, I love eating them. I cannot get enough of that floury texture that those people have.
They're a flowery
Doesn't work.
people.
Doesn't work.
The
That doesn't work.
That
I've
one
been
doesn't work.
wanting-
Yeah, you're right.
I've been wanting to go down to the border and read some of these blue check tweets about how America is like the worst place in the entire world to some of these Haitians, and trying to get them to turn around.
see if you change their mind.
Turn around.
Turn around.
Trust me, you don't want to come here. It's really racist.
Listen,
It's
this
really
person with
bad.
3,500 followers just tweeted out, "America is literally." Do you know what Nazi Germany is? Yeah, I wouldn't want to be here either. Why don't you just tuck tail and turn around?
Why don't you pack it right on up, buddy?
No chance on these NGOs, but I think I could turn a few of them back.
You think so? You think you'd change a couple minds?
It's like, can you read this? No, you can't read this. Here, let me translate. That would be great.
That would be pretty funny.
Just some very anti-immigration billionaire just puts up all of those lib tweets on the billboards right by the border in Mexico. See how horrible of a place this is?
Let's see how many followers we got right now. See the numbers going up.
You're still
It's
not at 300.
I'm like, I've dropped. I'm at 290 though.
That's
Well, until you hit 500, it's me and Chicken show as far as the Twitter page is.
All right, well, you can start recording. You can start recording this podcast on your own time.
Right now, the podcast page has more followers than you.
I thought it was like that before. Oh no, I had more followers than it on the old account, just barely. It was
That's
catching up
page
to me
did.
It
though.
has almost 400.
What is it? Have you at least retweeted Kim on the podcast page?
Yeah, I think he posted.
I
Like that?
retweeted me quote tweeting him.
Is that like a transitive property? What the fuck?
He got a double
It's Twitter.
double exposure because I
Twitter.
quote tweeted him and I retweeted it.
For me, that sounds like Twitter colonization. You just took my post, used it on his to profit, and then used his post of my post to profit on the podcast.
Your post was literally just like, "Hey, I'm here on Twitter," and I said, "Hey, look at this new account."
Yeah,
And steal any joke.
that's true. I'm getting more exposure today extorting people into following me than I am during that tournament a couple weeks ago or last week.
That was a waste of time.
It was a waste of time, and then I got it to the end, and then I got voter suppressed out of the win.
Voter suppressed.
Yeah, dude.
No,
I had
you
people.
lost one vote. You lost by like what, 20?
No, I'm holding on to it. I'm holding on to it like Trump, man. I had people telling me that they were blocked by that dude. Tito was just the one that stood out. Oh, and then it also didn't help that the people I was lobbying You know who I'm talking about, Turbo. I don't know if I should drop his name on here either, but I guess I can. Branch Covidian, I was in a space with him, and I was basically lobbying him like I was running for president to get all of his alternate accounts.
Because he's
And
got like a dozen.
yeah, and he helped me throughout the entire tournament. And then when the final round came around, he went out to go take a smoke break, and then he never came back. So I actually went without those votes in the final round.
I don't think he had 20.
I don't know. Well, it wasn't just him. It was the
He
same thing
wasn't.
with like Benzo. There was
He
another
wasn't
guy.
going to get you the win. You lost by a good margin.
I'm telling you, there were two big accounts, him and then Benzo Bobby with this guy with his 2,000 votes. He was the one campaigning for me as well. He was able to get me a good number of votes. If I had those two people
So
show up,
Bobby.
yeah, I don't, yeah. If I had the people who were backing me from the beginning back me in the final, I think I would have had a better chance.
We should listen to Benzo Bobby's music on here.
Man,
Is
how
there a
does that
way to
guy
play it?
function? If he's actually taking those things posted, that shit would put me under, dude.
He's like his entire TL is like I'm smoking another joint. I'm taking.
No, it's worse than that.
It's like I'm
Yeah,
popping
It's
more
worse than that.
pills.
He's like, he's
Roxy
like,
Codone and doing benzos and Roxy at the same time is a very, very dangerous
Yeah.
thing to do.
My favorite thing about that dude is that he likes and retweets all of his own posts.
Love that.
That's
Love
one
that.
of the funniest things ever. It doesn't matter what it is. If he replies to one of your posts, it could be 2 laughing emojis. He'll still like it and retweet it, so it shows up on his own profile as well. It's like
but here's the thing. So like, he's like drugged out all day, and he's like clearly,
Mhm.
he's got like some learning disabilities or something.
Yeah.
Right. But then, did you see his Rubik's Cube video?
No, I did not.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, he can
Yeah.
solve a Rubik's Cube in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It makes
Got
so
some
fucking
crazy
sense.
gift.
Dude.
He's got some gift. He did
He's
that
a save
thing.
on.
Yeah, it may have even been quicker than 30 seconds. Dude, it was fast as shit.
That's wild.
So funny.
Bored out.
Yeah, I stand an autistic bard out. Dude.
Oh, and it was like definitely filmed by like his. It looked like his grandma. You could see her reflection in the like case behind him.
So
It was like an old lady holding the camera. He was like, "Grandma, you need to take this video of me solving this Rubik's Cube."
That's hilarious. I love that dude.
Yeah,
That guy rules. He's just
that
doing
whole
it.
game,
He just. This is a guy who I personally think. I'm shocked that he has 2,000 followers, but he just crushes it in the craziest ways, and I love it.
No, he
Respect.
just follows everybody and then unfollows them. That's how he
You think so?
got them. Yeah.
Because he was
a
like,
lot of people
He
that do that.
yells at people if they don't follow him back. He's done it to people.
really? I see, and I just met this guy like last week. I didn't even know he existed prior to this.
No, he's a complete like just he's a head case.
He's best friends with Branch right now. Those two are always in spaces together.
The- Gosh, that is great. I bet you that's where the pills come from.
Oh yeah.
Is,
Well, you know what I love too is that he like back when he first started following me, Benzo, I would post something like that's like a shit post, something like that. It could be something about like the Holocaust, and he would respond like something like, "Oh, about like what he's taking this time." He goes, "I'm doing pretty good here," and he goes, "But what? How are you doing right now? Are you doing all right?" Like chatting me on like a Holocaust post or something like that. It's like, dude,
so badass.
it's so weird. I love it. I love that guy.
Derails it.
I love that dude so much.
Need more people like Benzo, Bobby.
I mean, like, and granted, like, our side of Twitter's a little bit dementiated on some level already, so it's not like we can really judge him that much. But it's
No,
just
it's
great.
a prerequisite to
Yeah.
be. I think in this corner is to either. I mean, to see Goatsy and just kind of like roll your eyes and be like, okay,
Yeah.
and Just
Yeah.
a little bit.
It's just funny, and then like there's nothing wrong with it. You're like, all right,
Yeah.
whatever.
Everybody's a little weird.
Let me show you his song.
Oh my god.
Is there a way that you can play it through Discord where
I
it'll come
can't.
through the podcast?
Not that I know of. I tried it last time and I couldn't get it to work.
Well, you could do it off your phone, maybe.
Yeah, I just played
Because
it into the microphone. Play it into the
this
microphone.
is not copyrighted music. Like this has
Hell
been
yeah! It's like our.
we can play this on the pod.
What if we just started using it as our intro?
We could. Like, what is he gonna do?
If we get permission wouldn't be the worst thing to get.
Mhm.
Dude,
But,
he's retarded. He won't know. We'll just
Watch him
Is
listen
it
to this
good?
thing. Yeah, listen, he's a new follower of mine. I'm gonna post this episode, and then I'm gonna post it to my TL, and this is gonna be the one that he listens to.
nobody listens this far in. We're good.
You don't think so?
I don't know. I
no
don't think.
idea. Yeah, we have no proof of that whatsoever.
We really don't. We don't have anyone being
No
like, "Wow, at
advanced
the 30 minute,
analytics.
like wow, at the 45-minute mark, that was the best riff."
When you called somebody a slur.
Just
When you
having
called,
like a needle.
when you called
And I didn't
someone a
even say it
slur.
like in an abstract way. Like I said, like he is.
Famous dude from YouTube.
He's the famous dude from YouTube,
All
man.
right, let me just play this real quick. Oh my god, that hair! He's like, because
Yeah,
he's
man,
dyed
he had
his
some-
hair. Well, his hair is like his natural hair color now. I saw a picture of him recently.
Yeah, he looks like Bobby Hill.
All right, I'm gonna throw this up on my phone. Or are you doing it?
Everywhere I go.
Yes.
Hey there, aren't you that famous dude from YouTube? Hey there, aren't you that famous dude from YouTube? Hey there, aren't you that
Oh,
famous
wow.
dude from YouTube? Hey
Repeat it
there,
again.
aren't you
Please say it
that
again.
dude
Please
from
do.
YouTube? I reply, yes I am. Now I feel like the man. Blow reefer on the camp. Yes, I smoked a couple grams and probably took a couple Zans. So please just understand. Appreciate me for who the fuck I am. Recording song, making these hits. Man, I'm gonna never switch. Man, I'm gonna never stop. Grinding till I hit the top. Fuck you if you hating on
Jesus
me.
Christ!
Fuck you, all your lanes you'll see.
Let's go.
Like it's pretty bad, huh?
It's
Yeah,
horrible.
no, it's just saying the same thing over and over again to start is such a bold move.
And well, you know what's funny too is that like there's no real lyrics in the sense that they have like a like there's no rotation to the lyrics or whatever. It's just him talking into the microphone after he repeats himself over and over again.
Oh man.
you know that there's a scene.
And
from
also,
Sopranos-
he's not even famous on YouTube either. Like that's the weirdest
Yeah.
part. He's just kind of going off this premise that
How many
like
people does he have on YouTube? That's what I want to know. He's got 10,000 views. So yeah, not that impressive in YouTube standards. That's
No,
his
it's not.
only video on YouTube too.
yeah,
What
he's
if-
not the famous dude from YouTube. He's got one
How
song.
old is the video?
It's 1 year old.
So do you think if I genuinely sent him a tweet and said, "Hey, are you that famous dude from YouTube?" What do you think he would say?
I think he'd retweet it.
Yeah.
You'd end
I
up
think he would,
retweeting it. You should do it. Social experiment on the podcast. Let's see what happens.
He'd run to his grandma's room and he'd be like, "Grandma, somebody just contacted me on Twitter and asked me if I was the famous dude
On
from
YouTube.
YouTube.
The famous dude.
So-
on
Grandma, we're
YouTube.
going to Hollywood, Grandma."
Well, thank you so much for Pro Tools. It's totally paying off.
There's
Not the
this
famous dude from-
there's this scene from Sopranos where like Chris like tries to sell one of his investors on like a band or whatever to invest him, and the guy's like Jewish. He goes like, I've produced many hit records. He's like, this is not a hit, and I have like this image of like him like trying to submit this to some sort of record album company, and they're just like, a hit is a hit, and this is not a hit.
Yeah, this is the opposite.
This is the opposite of a hit.
Gosh, yeah, I'd like to see that pitch. I like it has to have like some sort of level of delusion in order to get that far. I don't know if Bobby has that.
Mm-hmm.
But I just when you can watch that kind of hope or dream crash against like, reality.
Well, and
Is
okay,
a
this is something that I'm looking at his hair. His blue hair in that picture has just really been bothering me, and I'm like, it reminds me of something, and it hit me. His hair has like the same shape as like a hat that a woman would wear in like the 1920s. Let me pull up a picture of it real quick. But it's like that style where it comes down over the ears and then it just loops up. It is like a 1920s hat or something.
Well, that was also just kind of like an early, not early two
Doesn't his hair
thousands,
have that shape where it
mid
looks like
two
a helmet?
thousands. All the skater guys, like a lot of guys, had hair shaped just like that.
Yeah.
yeah.
It looks like that hat though for some reason. That's what I like thought of. It like loops down like a bucket on his head.
The color is what's off-putting.
He's
Mm-hmm.
a beautiful man.
Beautiful. He was looking pretty slim in that picture compared to how he looks right now.
Yeah, I wonder how much Percocets and Xanax every single day makes you bloat.
Gotta be a good
Did you
amount.
see his post the other day? It was like just a picture of the pack of cigarettes,
What,
and he's like,
Newports?
"Love these things." No, it was Marlboro
Marlboro
Red.
Red 100s.
Yeah, and he goes,
Don't
"Yeah," he
get
said
it
that.
twisted. Don't
He
get
goes,
it
"And I
twisted.
smoke 3 packs a day. Love these things. I'm pretty addicted."
Jesus Christ, dude.
God.
He's not in
This
the
is-
kind of like shape, dude, to be doing that. His heart is gonna
Three
die.
packs a day, dude. 3 packs.
See, and
That is
before
one
even
of the
knowing
most
this,
hardcore cigarettes you can smoke.
even before doing this, he posted something on like my profile. It was about him, smoking a joint, a cigarette, and popping a couple pills or something. And I made a joking comment that was like, "How's your heart?" And he goes, "It's great." It's like,
He goes,
Jesus
"I
Christ,
got a
dude.
lot."
His heart has got to be about to shut down.
What if he lives to be like 112 or some shit?
That'd be
It's like
wild.
one of the
Marathon
oldest
man.
people ever.
It always is
There
the
are
people who are, not worried about dying that are the ones that end up living to be like 120.
That dude in Texas finally kicked the bucket, but he was 100. He was in the teens, I think,
Yeah.
and he was in World War II. That black dude, do you remember? And he would smoke a cigar every night.
Yeah.
A shot of Maker's Mark, I think, is what it was.
Hmm.
He said every night I'd have a cigar and a shot of Maker's.
Love it.
Oh,
When I-
dude! Once I hit 100, there would be no regard for anything. I'd be chain smoking all day long.
Yeah.
Dude.
You've made it.
Just
And
like,
it's just like,
dude,
who cares?
Oh, what am I? What am I
It's
gonna
a house
do,
money
cancer?
kind of situation.
You're like,
You're already.
you're like, what am I gonna get
Yeah.
cancer and not get to see my grandkids? They've already grown up by now.
Yeah, they want me to
They're
be
old
dead.
now.
I'm a great grandparent by that time.
We don't even know how he exists. Just ready to check out. Yeah, you've like bested Vegas at that point. Once you clip like 95, 100.
Yeah.
I think
Once you get to that age, you're just like, you might as well just enjoy yourself because you're pushing it then.
Yeah, why not?
God, I love it. Well,
Yeah,
I
I
was
pick
counting
smoking
on
back up. I've quit smoking, but if I reach like 90 years old, I'm gonna pick it back up, and I'm gonna smoke like 4 packs a
Let
day.
it ride.
Hell
Just enjoy the last decade or so.
My grandma went through like a pack a day for 40 something years and then just went cold turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Has no problem with it now. That's just it's such a like an old person thing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be done when I'm done.
That's what my grandpa did. He smoked like all the time. I remember growing up, and one day he just stopped. And people were like, "Aren't you gonna have?" Like I think the entire family thought he was gonna have withdrawals. It's gonna be a whole journey. No, he
Yeah.
just stopped. It was just that's
Whole
it.
headache. And, yeah.
And they're just like that's whatever.
There's something to that generation of old people.
I was counting on Umami being here at the 35 mark. it's now an hour 4. So, like, we can only hold out so long for him.
We can just get him. We can get him on the next time. He's got a
Yeah.
podcast. We won't spoil it, but
Oh, we're at an hour.
Yeah, we're at an hour 4 right now.
Well, sorry, dude, you missed it.
Yeah, he missed the show's time. Which I need to talk to him more, man. I made a joke about buying some Cuban cigars, or I needed a Cuban cigar plug, and he hit me up and was like, "Yeah, man, I can actually get you some."
that's legit.
And
Are they legal yet? Can you just buy them?
No, they're still illegal. But what he was saying is that if you go down to Mexico, they're everywhere, and they're usually super cheap. And the thing is that the border patrol they're not looking for Cuban cigars, they're looking for drugs. And he said that like they go across the border like so easy, you don't even have to hardly hide them.
Yeah, if there was
They
weed
do
in the
on
cigars, maybe.
people try to take them back on cruise ships, and
Mhm.
the customs will take them. But it's pretty nice while you're there in another country to get a Cuban, smoke
Yeah.
it. So like, yeah, I've seen people get them taken going back onto the cruise.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, the way he was talking about was saying that he has a friend that they go down to Juarez, so like they're going down to Mexico themselves to get them across the border and coming back.
Damn.
So hey, and he said it's a pretty good, and he gave me his price. I was only gonna get a couple, but for $10 a cigar, I thought I'm paying. You know, you pay $8 for an average cigar, like a decent sized cigar at at a liquor store, and it's usually not that good. It's just cheaply made. So $10 a cigar for a Cuban, I might as well just buy a whole case, keep them over time.
Do you have a humidor?
What?
A humidor?
I don't know what that is.
Okay, well, they're important if you want to keep a cigar longer than a couple days.
Oh,
Yeah, if you're gonna
I'm a
buy these
fucking retard.
expensive Cubans, if you're gonna get good Cubans, you should probably,
I need to do
cook
my
them.
research.
Yeah,
I'm not in the custom
They-
of storing cigars over time. So yeah, I probably should do my research.
They're just you can get a little cheap. I mean, like cheap, relatively cheap. Some of them are like pieces of jewelry boxes or whatever.
Oh yeah, just like somewhere where it's like they're stored in the proper temperature.
Right. It's a temperature and humidity,
Yeah.
so it doesn't crack or get too wet.
Oh yeah.
I want to start smoking a pipe.
I would
I'll
do
be a
that
pipe
too.
guy.
My coworker does that.
Be like
But will it
Douglas
stick at
MacArthur.
my house?
They smell. It smells good. Pipe tobacco smells good. He does it in our warehouse. I go out there and I don't mind it at all. So,
Yeah.
But like, do you think it'll ruin? Because the thing is, like, I feel like you look like an idiot doing it outside. It's
Mhm.
definitely like
yeah.
an in-the-house activity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be worse than smoking cigs inside your house by far.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's not like smoking weed or what. Like if you smoke weed in your house within a couple hours, especially if you try and air it out a little bit, it's completely gone. Cigs linger, and then I think cigar and pipe smoke is worse than that.
Yeah. I would only like with the cigars. I go outside on my balcony to smoke them.
Yeah, they make me spit too much. I don't enjoy them because I feel like my mouth salivates, and I'm just like constantly spitting.
I haven't had that issue. I've had some though. Some cigars, like I said, with like if you go to like at a liquor store to get them, some of them are just hit or misses, man. I've had some. I try and just look around, get a different one or whatever based on price.
Yeah.
I got one last night because was just like I was just having a busy day, and so the cool Texas weather, the weather's finally changing. I wanted to sit outside and smoke one. And I got that thing. That was the most disgusting cigar I've ever paid for. It was like $8.
Yeah, bad cigars are not even fun to smoke.
Yeah.
They're like just rough.
They just make you feel sick.
I've had a lot of the cheap ones just for the fuck of it, and it's just not worth it, dude.
It is quite an investment in time as well. Like it's not like a cigarette for me is about a 3 to 4 minute exercise. Cigars are like you could be out there for 45 minutes.
Oh, the big ones you could be out there for an hour or two, and I mean that's kind of why I'm not like a regular smoker or anything, and I like them because I go out there on the balcony with the intent that I'm going to spend my evening out there and just enjoy the fresh air, and that's kind of why I enjoy those. It feels more of like just like a how a relaxing way to spend your evening. I wouldn't just strike up a fucking cigar out of nowhere expecting to be done with it really quickly.
Man,
It's like a whole hobby though, like especially back in Tampa, like Cigar City. And a lot of like everybody smokes cigars. These old men, like they're so into it. They do it like they wait all week for the weekend to sit around and smoke like a cigar that goes for like 2 hours
That
or
rules.
some shit.
I'm about it. I mean, I really do enjoy like the experience of just sitting outside and just enjoying the fresh air.
I like being outside, man. They got these like
Uh-huh.
shops where you can smoke inside and shit, and that stuff is
No, they got ones
crazy.
on the beach though, where you'll see all these old guys just sitting there,
Oh yeah,
like
see
on the
that's legit.
thing with
There
their.
it is.
They're having a blast, man. It's a reason to sit outside, and enjoy the
Yeah.
weather. And
Yeah.
That reminds me of the meme that I just saw where it was, or maybe it was a girl. It's crazy that I just realized men invented because they thought it was gay to ask their buddy to go on a walk. Uh, it's just like they invented cigar smoking so they could just like chill with the fellas outside by the beach and have a good time. Dudes rock.
Dude, I'm not sure if how many people still do this today. It seems like it's counterintuitive, but I definitely think smoking a cigar while playing golf would be the best fucking thing in the world.
Man, I just did a company charity golf thing.
Hmm.
Golf is so awesome.
I love golf.
I love it so much. It's gonna be one of those things that I just do for the.
Same.
Uh, it's so chill. You don't have to be good. Half of it's just drinking and chilling in it.
I just love going out in like the early like weekend morning, like a Saturday morning, cool breeze, just like the most relaxing fucking way to start your morning.
It really is a great way.
Hmm.
I got fried on Monday when I did that. I didn't put any sunblock on. There wasn't a cloud in the sky midday.
You still
I was
got
such a
fried.
oh, it was such a stupid. But it is what it is.
Yep. Oh well, thanks for tuning into the Dudes Rock Pod. We're just gonna I'm not waiting for him any longer. He missed it. He missed this episode. Uh, so
yeah, I
yeah,
want to roll a joint.
for sure. It's this is at the Suck Dictator, but with no K in Suck.
Um,
I'm tired of. I'm just gonna start waiting in silence until y'all catch on.
Yeah, cocaine poops is my at turbo cum.
I'm at bondage underscore chicken BDSM poultry.
There we go. There we go. Let's close this fucking shit out.